We start with what's going on in Congress, mainly because Brown walking out to have a meeting with LT quickly said Nick Saban in front of the Senate just let out Alabama's NIL budget, which is intriguing. Yeah. And I don't know if it's information people want out, if it's good or if it's bad for Alabama. I remember when I got, I don't know if you guys did this, but seventh grade gym one time, guy shorted me, yanked it down in the middle of the gym. Everybody's out there.
You had
I had underwear on.
Oh, okay.
But it still wasn't, I wasn't prepared for all the seventh grade girls to see it.
That's what happened to you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you yank down those shorts, it could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Could be.
Nick Saban's yanking down the Alabama's NIL shorts today.
I have not seen this number. I'm going to say the weather's very cold, though.
Yeah,
in Tuscaloosa.
You were not excited about basketball?
Yeah.
Nick Saban, I'm just going to read from Mike Rodak, who is watching the hearing.
God bless
First
him.
of all,
God bless him.
Throw a number out. Is this just football?
Well, hang on. Let me. No.
Set us up to guess.
All right. So 2025 is the last number he gives.
Yeah, that's the last year we played.
Alabama's NIL collective had blank million in 2025.
But is this football?
Alabama's NIL collective is all it says.
So this included having to pay.
I would say this is football and basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
I am going to say.
Just so I'm not influenced.
Yeah, you're right. Write them down. And then Nick Saban walks us from the first year of Alabama's NIL, which is 2021, all the way up to 2025. Now, he doesn't say 2026, so we don't know what it was or what it is currently, but we do know what it was last year for Alabama.
I'm not saying Nick Saban would ever do this. He doesn't need to do this. He's the greatest, arguably, coach of any level, any sport ever. But the more he inflates it, the better he looks because the results haven't been championship results.
I've gone way too high, I think.
Well, and who was it that was on our show yesterday? Who was on our show yesterday?
We had Rod Vaughn on, the head coach for Alabama baseball, and Clay Travis.
And Clay Travis. Somebody on our show this week said, these NIL numbers, you just take them and divide them in half.
Lance Cormier.
Lance Cormier said that. Yeah, NIL numbers. Thank you guys.
I mean, I don't know.
It's been a long week.
I don't know why we need to run cognitive tests for you, but
it's been a long week.
Did you have transfusions yesterday?
Lance Cormier.
It's been a long week. Why has it been a long week?
I'm just kidding.
You have a lot going on?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying it was Tuesday and I couldn't remember.
Did you play golf Monday?
I did.
Did you play golf Tuesday?
I did.
It's been a long week.
Yes.
I got my number ready
But as Cormier...
I mean, you can't remember who's on the show. I'm guessing Lance's secret meeting is after the show. I just nailed that one out of the blue.
How many people...
Well, it's not a secret meeting. I wouldn't tell you
what
about
I mean.
No, you were having lunch with somebody.
Yeah.
How many people knew who you were having lunch with?
Nobody.
And Dunaway guessed it.
First guess.
Yeah. Like, there's no way you could have known.
Yeah. Like, absolutely nobody.
I was not good at guessing the Madden cover, by the way. Y'all seen who that is yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll get hurt. He will. They'll probably miss postseason.
Well, truthfully, I went Matthew Stafford. I thought, oh God, he's not
I'm
going to
glad they didn't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what was your guess?
My guess is $35 million.
Okay. Oh, my guess is $31 million.
Wow,
so
how about that?
I'm not out of whack.
Nick Saban at the Senate hearing testifies Alabama's NIL collective. Again, this is from Mike Rodak, as Jim said. God bless him for watching this. $2.7 million year one, $7 million in 2022, $10 million in 23. He retired. It had $17 million in 24, and in 2025, $24 million.
I don't believe that.
You think it's?
I think it's
larger.
Higher. I think it's got to be.
Ooh.
Well, here's what I would.
If they're doing what they're doing with $24 million,
they're
doing a great job.
Does all NIL run through the collective? That's my first question.
Well, and again, back to
until this year now, where we have the rev share. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that the numbers you hear are all...
Our check goes through the collective, the one we sent them.
Well, you think about Ohio State a couple of years ago, Will Howard, hey, national championship or bust, and that number was, what, $20 million? I mean, I think the numbers we hear are the numbers we hear. I think that's what's supposed to go through the collective. With that said, I mean, Alabama's basketball roster had to be $7 to $10 million, right?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to assume you had to get file on $1 million at least, right?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, you got him, and you talked him back out of the draft. That was expensive.
And some of these big recruits that you keep pulling in that could go anywhere, they're top 25 guys, like Amari Allen and the guys you have coming in this year.
Even Bo Bowen from last year, I guarantee to come from Florida State, he probably got $500,000.
Yeah, but those big recruits, these top 25 guys, they've got to be $1 million.
Oh, Jackson Richardson.
Oh, yeah, got to be $1 million. So now, I mean, we're talking 6-7 million.
Well, and I forgot what the numbers were, Brown, but I mean, you're compounding that. So that number now, if you're just going on average pace, is, from what was it last year, 20?
Yeah.
25 million.
Yeah,
It seems like Nick is doing it a touchdown at a time. It went from 10 to 17 to 24. So maybe I nailed it for this year. Maybe I'm right on 31.
I think it's going to be in the 30s based on that, but that number seems low last year.
All I'm asking is, I know everything is supposed to go through the collective, but we don't believe that $24 million was every single dollar that Alabama spent on a player, do we?
Not across all sports.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why would we not believe that, though? I don't
Well,
understand.
because
There's no reason to pay, the quote-unquote bag under the table or any of that stuff anymore.
No, I don't disagree. I think the numbers are probably so all over the place, and as
Yeah.
everything should go through the collective, probably doesn't.
Yeah. I guess I'm just saying you don't think there's a player that just does a side deal on his own with Alabama Booster is what I'm asking. Doesn't have to go through the CSC. It's just...
Let's just say the total number for every other sport, including basketball, is 10 million.
Yeah.
Can you be that competitive in football with that
No.
number? I don't think you can be.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Saban went on to say, in 2025 it was $25 million. Now we've got $40 million. Now, quote, now you have schools at $40 million. He might just be talking about football, but that's not the way it was worded.
Did he say we or you have schools?
Now you have schools at
you
40
have
million. He did not say now we are at
Yeah.
40 million.
If those
No.
are the true numbers, I think Alabama fans again need to back up and look at what Kalen DeBoer did. I mean, 11 wins, playing for an SEC championship, advancing in the postseason.
I see what you're
and what Nate Oates did.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And what Rob Vaughn has done.
Yeah.
And what Pat Murphy did. I mean, all of them. It trickles down because if there's only this much for football, they're spending most of it.
Okay, if we ever get this list, and I don't know if we'll ever get it, I think we all want it. I think it's fascinating to see if we had it, who has the biggest NIL to number 100 on this list. But if Alabama is consistently outspent, that's how you lose coaches. It is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, you never thought in the world that when you asked Kirby Smart the question about Indiana football, there's going to be some weird departures where coaches take other jobs and you're like, how did he leave that for this?
Well,
and it's going to be NIL related.
I'll give you a great example because when the Michigan-Alabama discussion was going on with Kalen DeBoer last year that led to the new contract for Kalen DeBoer, I was texting with several people in the sport. Do you really think he'd leave Alabama for Michigan? And I was like 100%. Well, why do you think that? And I was like, because the NIL money is easier at Michigan than it is at Alabama.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason coaches leave now.
Yeah.
I mean, Lane Kiffin.
It's number one, Lance, for me.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, that's the first question. What's our NIL? How much money will I have to put a roster together? It's not how much money you're going to put into recruiting. It's not how much money we're going to put into facilities so I can sell the recruits. It's how much money do I have to spend to get the recruits?
Yeah, I mean, it really is tying somebody's hand behind their back because recruiting used to be Nick Saban could out-recruit anybody. Kirby Smart could out-recruit anybody.
Right.
But it doesn't come down to that relationship. It doesn't come down to winning championships. It comes down to who's going to pay these 18 and 19 and the transfers more money.
I will tell you that I believe the relationships and things like that can get you a little bit of a discount. Like maybe if you're in the ballpark, right? If I'm close to what
Tosh Lapoy has got to be doing this right now. Like he is putting on the charm.
Yeah.
I mean, to have California with their budget to have a top 25 recruiting class, he is an example of one of these guys that is out recruiting guys because he's doing something special.
I really think Kalen DeBoer and Courtney Morgan has done that for 2 years. I think because of their relationships and recruiting, what Nick Saban built at Alabama, the facilities, the mystique, all that has allowed Alabama maybe on some players to get a discount where they had a chance to get bigger checks somewhere else. And obviously, they're going to need to keep doing that.
But back to what Cormier said, and we were talking about individual NIL, and he's like, man, you just divide these numbers in half. Is there a chance that the NILs we hear about just aren't real, and this is a real number, and 24 million in 2025 isn't that far off from what real numbers actually are?
I mean, it should be based on where Alabama stacks up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, is there a chance Texas A&M doesn't have a $50 million
No,
NIL?
I don't believe that. I believe in the SEC There is Texas and Texas A&M.
I agree, and I think you can stop there.
And then I think there is a bunch of people that are cluttered in the middle.
I think Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, they're all right there in that next LSU. They're in that next group. LSU's trying to break away, but I don't think that will last.
Yeah, LSU probably is at the top of that.
Probably.
I don't know where they're getting their money, but they're at the top of that.
And I think it'll play out a little bit. I think that was all about let's get Kiffin, let's make a splash. And now if Kiffin starts to win big, it may continue that way.
And I believe Miami and Ohio State and Michigan are up there with Texas and Texas A&M. I guess USC is. I'm not really familiar with them.
USC is starting to spend a lot of money.
Are they?
But programs like Florida State, who have a great tradition and all that, I think they are way below where Alabama is.
Is there a reason? I mean, Nick Saban is premeditated, calculated. Everything he says, there is a message that comes from it. What do you think the reason for him unleashing this number would be?
I mean, you got to remember, the first thing he said, we watched the start of his testimony, and this was, as Jim said, God bless Mike Rodak and anybody else that's watching this. The first 40 minutes were two senators talking about why we're here today, and boy, it was long.
The only Senate hearing I ever watched was Watergate's because I was a kid, and you'd come home from school, and it was on every channel. We had 3 channels. And
when they put Tom in front of the Senate on Succession, that was incredible. I didn't know your husband had 2 assholes.
I watched Michael Corleone testify before Senate as well. I did not go the way the Senate committee thought it was.
I really don't think I've seen nothing but fictional Senate hearings. Now, if this alien stuff comes out,
you never know.
I'll be all in on that.
With that said, Nick Saban said at the very beginning, I am not here representing any school or any conference. I'm here to talk about the sport I love, basically, is what he said. So he said at point blank, I'm not a representative of Alabama. And Nick Saban truly believes, I think, that this bill is the path forward to saving college sports. And he even talked about, I'm here to help save the Olympic sports, golf and gymnastics and things like that. Those are the ones that are going to die because of this. And I think this is the path forward. So, I mean, I think his calculation isn't as much Alabama related. I think he truly believes if people hear that a school like Alabama had $24 million in 2025 and now we're up to 40, that people are going to be stunned by that and be like, we can't. This is not a tenable situation. We can't keep this going.
I think he believes it's a really accurate number. I mean, you guys would give me that he is one of the more prepared guys.
No doubt.
The NFL draft, when he goes into that, he wants to make sure everything is airtight. So I would assume before he testifies here, he wanted to ask around and make sure that number was as close as he could possibly get.
I would say Nick Saban knows the actual number. Did he give us the actual number at $24 million? I don't have a reason to doubt that he did, but I guarantee you he knows the actual number.
Yeah. I think the biggest question is, to your point, Brown, the 24 million, now 40 million for some programs you think are going to wow the average senator and people that are watching this.
But in
the college football world, we all see Alabama had a $24 million budget last year, and we're all like, oh. Alabama's coming. They've got a empty coffee can on the side of the street in college athletics saying, come on, man.
It's like when you look at the quarterbacks, what they were making in Brock Purdy with $1 million, you're like, damn, how are they doing that?
Yeah. It should be noted that before this testimony started today, the Big Ten and the SEC together yesterday released a joint statement in quotation marks that they do not support the Protect College Sports Act for a number of reasons. I would imagine the first gets into television rights and a number of other things, but it would be, I guess, I think there's a lot of Americans who always wonder about why you're part of the United Nations, and there's a reason why there's a United Nations and all of that. But, I've never thought the United Nations could ever tell the United States what to do. It's good that we're a part of it.
Literally based right here.
Yeah. And then we're a part of it. We host you guys, all
That's
that.
right.
It's all good. We're all working together until you start trying to tell me what to do.
That's right. Yeah.
And then
it's
all fine. It's fine and dandy, but you're not going to tell me what to do.
Y'all can find another building somewhere else.
And if you're the Big Ten and the SEC, I think you pick the side you want here. One of you is Russia and China, and one of you is the U.S., and you're sitting here going, hey, listen, it's all great and dandy. We're all going to work together for this. But when you guys start telling us what to do,
Negative.
no way.
I
We're going to
would-
decide what we're going to do.
Would love to know what the SEC and the Big Ten think the cons are.
The immediate con is the pooled media rights. They have
right.
zero interest in that.
That's
and
right.
now,
Yeah. That is obvious.
Hey, and Bavacqua, the AD at Notre Dame, hasn't testified yet today. And I don't know if he's released a statement, but I would imagine he is in with the Big Ten and the SEC on media rights.
Yeah, we'll keep our own. Yeah.
Yeah,
we,
no,
we,
the
we have been
pooling, I mean,
independent forever.
Yeah, that's right.
We're
that-
not joining you now for this.
That is obvious because that is apples and oranges when you have the Big Ten and the SEC. But I'm talking about 5-year eligibility, one-time transfer.
I think everybody's for that.
Yeah, I think the SEC and the Big Ten would be on board. The whole, and again, I keep harping on this one, but the whole trying to control when coaches leave and don't do that.
That's impossible.
It's impossible. It's un-American, frankly, for the government to do that, in my opinion. Do you think Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti want to see that, though? I mean, I think in a perfect world,
No.
but here's why. In a perfect world, I think they would say, yeah, we would like coaches to be able to finish where they are before they take another job. But they're also representing schools like Florida who hired a coach that was in the college football playoff. And as John Summerall said the other day, I went before my team. They may have said, no, don't coach, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Greg Sankey's got to look at that. Like, Florida hired a guy from the playoffs. And he could have left his team before the
But,
playoffs
you know,
started.
LSU did.
Yeah, LSU did.
That
That's
was
right.
the polarizing example. And, the LSU thing with Lane Kiffin, the only people that didn't benefit, the only negative was Lane Kiffin, really. I mean, Ole Miss, it became a huge storyline. It became a rallying cry.
Yep.
Everybody was behind them. It was good for the SEC. It was good for Ole Miss. The only negative to come out of that really was Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. So I think they probably would not find common ground on that one. I think both the Big Ten and the SEC are like, we don't love that practice, but we also understand why that practice exists. Our teams have to go hire the best coach possible as quick as possible because they got to recruit. I mean, you notice coaching searches don't drag on anymore, right? Coaching searches go like this now. They used to last weeks. And now, I mean, Nick Saban retires. Kalen DeBoer is Alabama's coach in 36 hours. Billy Napier gets fired. John Summerall is a coach pretty quick.
But see, if we ever get to the world where the Big Ten and the SEC can make the rules and they get the antitrust exemption to where not every rule is challenged in court, then you can set up a calendar. That
There's no
says-
doubt. Once you do that, yeah.
Then
but
the
that's,
SEC and the Big Ten
yeah.
can say, no
That's
team
right.
can hire anybody until after
Yep.
the conclusion of
But
our
the-
national championship.
But there again,
game.
that's not the government doing it. That's the collective, like the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what they've collectively bargained.
Why is our buddy Klatt so upset?
I haven't seen the. I haven't. Seen
I mean, this headline I'm looking at from Fox News, Joel Klatt roast SEC. Nick Saban isn't there, quote, with his big old coattails for you to ride as a conference.
He's upset about Greg Sankey's comments that we played from the SEC meetings that they're the deepest conference.
okay.
by
Okay, so it's
far.
got nothing to do with the testimony.
It has nothing to do with the
Okay.
testimony.
I found it was interesting that just popped up with Nick Saban.
Big old
Okay.
coattails.
So Big Ten SEC against the Protect College Sports Act. Nick Saban 100% supporting it, sitting beside Ted Cruz today and Senator Cantwell as the bill and the Senate hear about the bill today from a number of people. It is live on your C-SPANs or wherever if you want to go watch it. But again, bring your Cuban coffee if you're going to do that.